Hi everybody, my name's Shannon, and I've been living off-grid on the road for over 5 months. I've traveled over 7,000 miles, and of course, I haven't done this all by myself. I've done it with both my dogs, Miles and Emma. I've done it safely and on a budget. I didn't kill myself, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Ooh, that can't be good. So this is my car, and this is all in drive mode right now. So the dogs, come on guys, up, up, up. The dogs ride in my homemade dog bed. I made it this height because they need to be able to see out the window so that they can see what's going on, but more importantly, so that they don't get any kind of nausea. I did a couple of test runs when I was kind of seeing if this was going to work with them. I didn't drive 5 hours, but in the test runs they seemed to do good, and so we went, and it's worked out really well. So this is just the front area in drive mode. I'll show you the back and show you how I've done the rest of it. In drive mode, this is the back area. I always have the Reflectix, along with some signage board backing it up. I keep those up all the time. I've never taken them down, never had any problem with traffic or anything like that in them or with them up. So I don't have to mess around with those really at all. In drive mode, I also have an extra dog bed that in sleep mode will go up front. I have a camping chair, I have cooler, clothes, a junk drawer, and my snacks. This is the back side of my, what I'll call my living room. It's also my kitchen, and we'll get into that once we go around and see the rest of it. So in the back, which is also in drive mode, we have, everything is very secured. So for instance, this is my kitchen, so I have fuel here. And then I have all of these things which are like, this is actually Velcroed to the wood here, which kind of traps in these things. And then up above here, what I've done is I've put a little metal board or plate there. And with the products that I don't want to be sliding all around, I've done magnets on the bottom. So when I'm driving, this is all pretty secure. And then I've got two 2.5 gallon waters. These are just really easy to fill up, get water, not a big deal at all. This, the piece de resistance. This is the thing that has let me do what I'm doing. And it's a refrigerator freezer. It's the Alpicool C15, so it's a 15-quart refrigerator. During the day, or in drive mode, it connects 2 different ways. During the day, when I'm driving, this plug is always hot. So it simply stays plugged in during the day. This is my Jackery 240, and this is what I use during the day to charge so that at night I can charge or continue the charge on my Alpicool freezer. I keep it in freeze mode, which kind of depletes the battery a lot, but I'm a foodie and I've got a lot of food in there, like choices. I like choices. So I've got steak, I've got pork, I've got shrimp, I've got scallops, I've got fish, even a fish I caught. I actually caught one. But anyway, so if we're camping, I'll just simply take this out and at night, plug it into here, turn it on, and that will run my freezer overnight. Then during the day, I unhook it, plug it back in to the car socket, and it runs during the day. Or I'm sorry, at night. During the day. I don't know. The thing works. And it's worked for me for 5 months. So let's go around over here just to show you the very few items that I really need in order to be successful doing this. So here we have, well, these are all my snacks. Food and more food. Then I have what every household has. This is a junk drawer. but I know exactly what is in here and where everything is. This is a little cooler for sauces. I don't really put an ice pack in it because most condiments don't need any kind of ice. Clothing, this is summer clothing. This whole thing, this is what I wear. And then heavier clothing for the winter or colder months. I try and chase the sun as much as I can. All of the dog stuff goes down there. So we've got food and treats and leashes, extra leashes and collars and stuff like that. And then this is, it looks like a backpacking thing, but I never use it because I don't hike. This is full of crafts. So, oh, and don't forget the trusty hot pink rod and reel. Caught a 14-inch big mouth bass on that thing. It's really probably for children, but it worked. And in drive mode, this is what it looks like when the dogs are riding from the driver's or from the passenger side. Down here, I have extra shoes, laundry. This is a laundry bag. It's really just a sleeping bag. And then in that black pouch, I have all of my extension cords for different batteries, solar, all that kind of stuff. So that's drive mode. And I actually designed all of this myself, and it took many, many tries, but it's worked out perfectly and safely. Speaking of safety, you're gonna see this hanging around me all the time. This is my safety whistle. I never take this off. And then I also, this is hysterical, I got a dog bone at the pet store. This is the cheapest way to wear dog tags. It's actually a dog tag. But you can go to the store and you can get 2 of them for $12. And this has my cousin's name on it and a friend of mine's name on it. And they're in opposite sides of the country. So anywhere I'm at, somebody will know if something happens to me. So I keep that on at all times. So let's go around and I'll take you through what I do when I'm camping. Sort of ish. Camping sort of ish. Now I'm going to show you what happens when we arrive at camp and how easy the transition is between drive mode and camp mode. So here in the back, all I have to do is take out the dog bed, which goes up in the front because they actually sleep in separate beds. Then I take out my camp chair. Imagine this being on a nice lake front, because that's where I like to camp. Then it's simply a matter of getting in the command center, and I call it this because it's kind of the living area, the working area, the research area, but I have it's the back side of my kitchen actually, and this just lowers down, and I can do multitasks on this. So easy just to set up my computer and start typing right away. I can also cook on this when it's a rainy day, because who likes to cook out in the rain? So I do have a 1-burner stove that I use. This is so easy. It's a great little stove. Just pop a propane in, lock it in. It has an auto start, and it protects me from the elements when it's bad weather. Most importantly, once we are situated, I can get anything I need. Everything is within my reach. So when we go to sleep, we simply hook this up, stretch on out, and here it is. I'm out full length. And sometimes Miles sleeps with me. But this is so comfortable. We'll talk about the pads that I have in just a second. The other thing that I can do in here, and I always make sure that I have some kind of cell service or internet service, I just attach my phone and I am watching Netflix. So it's, it's everything. It's everything I need in this one little, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I would be so claustrophobic. It's not like, for me, it's not like that. It's like a little safe cocoon. And it is safe. It's much safer than, well, I think, than me staying out in a tent, which I do have a tent, but I've never set it up. It's an 8-person tent. I could basically live in it. But for safety precautions, I like to sleep in the car. Want to watch something? So in every rig, there tends to be an upstairs, a living area, and a basement. So I'm going to show you what I have in the basement. And it's, you know, it's not a whole lot, but it does what it's supposed to do. So first of all, here's the platform that I built in the car to sleep on. I have 3 different pads. The first pad is a camping blow-up pad. And this, oh my gosh. So this is actually an exercise mat. I can't tell you how much comfort this adds and how inexpensive it was. I mean, when you're talking about the blow-up mattress and other pads that you could possibly get, this was like 20 bucks. I don't know. It's like 6 feet long. I am nowhere near that. And dense foam. So I would, if I were just camping in a tent, this is what I would get. And then I do have memory foam, and yeah, it's old. But again, we're doing this on a budget, and this was on my bed at home. So I just cut up my bed because I already had it. And then when we're looking, we have all the camping gear that we need. So I have fasteners, rope, I have an electric cord just in case I go to a place that has electricity. You know, the mallet, all of the normal things for camping, and bug spray right on hand. Duct tape is in there twice. Really important is a good first aid kit. That's really important. And then I have killed my car so many times that I got one of these. And it really, literally has saved me from the desert, from a restaurant parking lot. And it's simply a battery charger. So I just take this out, hook up the chargers, put it on my car, and charge myself away. Takes 2.5 seconds to do it. And literally I could do this probably 20 times without recharging it. It really has saved me. So even if you don't, even if you're not as crazy as I am and doing what I'm doing, I think that everybody should have one of these in their car so that they don't have to depend on a stranger, or, you know, if you have a bigger truck, the right kind of truck to come by and jump you, you can just get one of those. And it just saved me a million times. So let's go back to the, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go up to the attic. So the basement, the living area, the attic. I was actually wise enough, smart enough, thought about it. Actually, I saw it on YouTube. Somebody reminded me when I built this not to forget the spare tire. My spare tire goes underneath my bed in the back. That would have been a nightmare tire change. So I took that, I strapped it up there, and I can even still get to the jack, bonus, because I wouldn't have thought of that either. YouTube has saved me. And then up here, this is waterproof. It's very easy to get into and out of. There's just simply a zipper, Velcro to keep the waterproof material over the zipper. And what I have in there is kind of random. A little bit of backup food, and then I do have that 8-person tent, but I've never taken it out, nor have I set it up. I like sleeping in the car way too much. Shoes. A girl has shoes. So I have a bunch of shoes up there. I've never worn them, but I have them, and I took them with me. So let's go ahead and I guess go to the back and show you how I cook. Now I'll sort of compare this to a teardrop trailer where all the cooking is done outside and in the back. And I'm kind of a foodie. I'm kind of like a cook, like a home chef. I worked in restaurants for years. So while I've been doing this on a budget, and while I've been doing it very safely, I have not suffered at all for food. So this was, I did build this, okay, the cuts aren't straight, and it's on a budget. So just a simple chain, slips off, always have the paper towels. I find that the shop towels work the best. Ta-da! everything right where I need it. So first of all, I have a 2-burner Coleman stove, and I really like this one simply because it has 10,000 BTU. And it doesn't matter how much wind you have or how many wind guards you have. I have extras. It doesn't matter if the flame isn't powerful enough to continue through that. So this particular stove, filthy as it is, because I actually eat off of it, I wouldn't go with anything less than this. And it was like less than $50, so please, come on. So that just slides right in there. I do have my cutting board, so this is a prep area. I have pots and pans. I can make big soups. I can make homemade spaghetti sauce, which I love. These are all my utensils, oils. I can even have guests over. I have more than one fork. So, yeah, the one thing that's allowed me to have the food that I have is this freezer. It's actually a fridge freezer. It's an Alpacool 15 quart. It's really all I needed. I could have gone a little bit bigger. It would just have been a bigger lid, which wouldn't have been a big deal, but this was sufficient for my needs. So it is powered by electric, by DC, and I can use my solar generator on it. So I simply open it up and I have a plethora of options. That's homemade spaghetti sauce. I'm not going to take everything out, but there's fish, chicken, steak, everything that everything that a foodie could want. And I don't make my decision on dinner 2 or 3 days ahead. I'm like, what do I want in an hour? And I have all the choices that I need. And then when I'm all done, I can just close it up, close up the back, and go back to my command center. So let's talk about power, because I have been doing this for 5 months, over 7,000 miles, and I haven't been able to do it without power. Whether it's solar generated, whether it's DC generated, or actually using my car as a generator, which is a viable backup. But first thing I do when I get to a campground or when I wake up is I take out my Jackery. I'm going to just set that down right there. And then I have a Jackery solar panel, which has made this just total plug and play. Simply unfold it. This is a 65 watt. It's got a kickstand. Take the plug, bada bing, and I started the hard job of gathering power. I just actually leave this here and I go and do all my other stuff. And then it takes about 5-6 hours, depending on how much sun you get. And if I need to go to the store, I just pack it up, plug it into the car, use the car to continue charging it, and then get back and plug it back in here. So that has worked out like, I can't even tell you. It's the one thing that's allowed me to do this, is having some kind of power, and it's free. So that is the power for my freezer. And that's, I use that Jackery solely for the freezer. For everything else, I have a little power station up front. Let's go up here, up, in. And probably the best thing that I've treated myself to, and it's not even a treat, it's like 20 bucks, is this DC splitter. So one plug into my car, and I've got 3 different ports. Now this port, I'm plugging in an adapter for 2 quick charge USB, and I can plug in my phone. I can plug in, I have probably 5 of these. They're just little battery packs. This will probably charge my phone twice. So at night, I can just carry this around with me. I can put it in my bedroom, and it's, you know, it's just power storage. I also have another double USB. So in reality, I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things charging off of USB. Do I generally run my car when I'm doing this? Yes. So I'll do this while I'm driving. I'll charge a bunch of things when I'm driving. Or I will start my car intermittently just to make sure that I'm not killing my battery and having to use the battery charger. I've done it. Come on, everybody's done it. But that charges everything else. So camera equipment, laptop, phone. My dogs don't need a charge. Not at all. But yeah, that's it. This is it. It's got me 7,000 miles, gone from Arizona to South Carolina to everywhere in between. And I swear I've spent less than $800 on any kind of lodging. And I'm safe and I'm secure and I'm having a blast. So now I've shown you my whole rig, my whole setup, how I've been camping and going across country for 5 months, off-grid and on a budget. If you liked this, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, because in the future, it's going to get wacky. I'm going to go ahead and buy a property and stay off-grid, and I don't know what I'm doing. I have not a clue. So I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your comments, and hopefully I won't die. But I am going to do this, and I'd love for you to follow along and find out probably what not to do, but you know, maybe we'll do it right, but I don't know. Anyway, until next time, see you then.